I had to take a break because I'm nitpicky and petty and didn't want to film more videos for a minute. So I took a few days off, rebalanced my life, started refinishing a bookshelf, repotted my peace lily, and it already looks better. I should have done that ages ago. I don't know why I didn't think to, but Christy finally gave me the nudge, and she was like, repot your peace lily, and so I did. And so it looks better. Yeah. So I've been doing a few other things. Also just being pathetic, so I didn't want to record a video, so I didn't. The plant of the day is my pineapple plant. And I just cut the top off a pineapple probably about a year ago, not quite a year ago, maybe 9 months ago, I don't know. And I cut it off and set it in water, and it's been there ever since. That's its root system. I did this before with a pineapple, and I didn't let it get very good roots. And now I can't get them back in. It's like Pandora's box. Anyway, I did this before with a pineapple, and I got so excited when it started to get some roots. And it had a fairly okay root system, but I got excited and I planted it in dirt, and then it just stopped growing. And I think there was a lot at play. It wasn't quite ready for soil, maybe. It probably got shocked because it was like, I've lived my whole life in water, and now you put me in this dry stuff. And then I probably rotted some of the roots because I was like, maybe you need more water, and maybe you need more sun. And then I think bugs ate it, and it wasn't growing anymore, so I gave up. And I let it die, and I started a new one. So this time I was determined to get it a better root system before I planted it in soil. And now I'm really apprehensive to put it in soil, because what if the same thing happens? It's doing so well. Look at it. So yeah, that's my pineapple plant. It's continuing to live on my kitchen table in the sunniest spot in the house, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. If it gets much bigger, it's going to take up too much of the table, and I won't be able to keep it there. So I don't know. This is my pineapple of indecision. Do you want a pineapple plant, anybody out there? You can't have it. I'm too attached to it. So anyway, that's pineapple. And for the book of the day, I'm running out of books that I own and it's easier to look at my shelf and be like, what books do I love? So for today, because of the song I'm gonna play, I decided that we'd go with the theme of childhood. And so my favorite book to read to my kids is The Frog and Toad Treasury by Arnold Lobel. I hate reading books to my kids. I love reading, and I love my kids, and I like reading to my kids, but I hate when my kids bring me books that are kids' books, and they say, please read me this book, because I don't like reading Dora the Explorer. And you can only read Dr. Seuss so many times, and just, there's just so much children's literature out there that is terrible. And it doesn't have plots, and it doesn't have characters, it doesn't have great settings. I know that, I'm probably asking too much, but, they are unpleasant to read. This is not unpleasant to read. I love this book because it's so funny, but it's also simple. It's an I can read book. So you can read this, but also your kid could read this. Pretty soon Melody could probably read this right now. Anyway, but they are funny. This is my favorite part there's so many good favorite parts. So I love this one. There's this story it's called The Surprise, and it takes place in fall. So Frog wakes up, and he looks outside, and all the leaves have fallen down, and he says, I'm gonna go rake up Toad's leaves and surprise him. And so he sneaks over to Toad's house, and Toad wakes up meanwhile, and he's like, I'm gonna go sneak over to Frog's house and rake up all his leaves. So then they each sneak through the bushes and through the leaves to the other one's house. They rake the leaves, then they come back to their own houses. But in the meantime, then the wind has blown the leaves out of the pile, and they get home and they look at their own leaves and they say, that was so great. I'm sure that Frog is happy, says Toad. And then Toad's like, I'm sure that Frog was happy. Or Frog was happy. Each was happy that the other one was happy. And they were like, that was such a good thing. And they're going to love that their leaves are raked up. And tomorrow I'm going to rake up my own leaves. So in the end, like, the leaves were unraked. But it didn't matter because everybody was happy because they thought they were serving somebody else. And it was great. It's just such a cute story. And I love Frog and Toad. And more children's literature should be like Frog and Toad. My children love it too. That's the other thing. Like, because like sometimes I like books to read to my kids and they're like, this is dumb. But they never say that about Frog and Toad. So this was the best thing that I ever found at...
Yeah.
This one might have been a discard at the library. But look at it. It's in such great shape. It was almost new when I bought it.
I think you got one at DI once.
Oh, this is probably it then. This was damage that we did. I don't know why Clara liked to eat books, but she did. She would devour them. So, anyway, so that's that. I'm also, because I'm too picky and particular, and it gets in the way of what I like to do. So, I just decided that today I was just going to do it, and I was going to play you a song that I wanted to play you. And it's mostly for my brothers. But also it's for me, and also it's for other people. But this is the Super Mario Brothers main theme by Koji Kondo. And it's in cut time, so I'm going to have to set a metronome real fast to get the right speed in my head. Because if I don't, it's either going to be too fast or too slow, and we'll all be sorry. So I'm just going to let the metronome go for just a second so I can get the feeling for it, and then I'll play. Side note, especially for my brothers, this song is deceptively, like, you look at it and you think it's going to be easy, and it is easy, but also it's not. And a metronome is a super great tool that you can use, except mine disappeared because Clara thinks it's a phone. Luckily, I have a real phone and can use my phone as a metronome, ironically. So, that's... Actually, I'm going to use my computer as a metronome. So, anyway, metronomes aside, good tools. You should use them. This is the Super Mario Brothers theme song. That didn't happen. Nobody saw that. Worse and worse. So, yeah, Mom and Dad paid for all those piano lessons so that I could grow up and play the Super Mario Brothers theme song on the piano. But also other things. Sometimes it just goes so well and then I record and it doesn't go well. But that's okay.
Alex
okay.
walked in and I
Alex
was
walked
distracted.
in and everything went.
I was distracted telling him she was
Always his
filming, so
fault.
he didn't do anything dumb.
I know. That's okay.
My bad.
Honestly,
that's why I got
would
distracted.
have liked more practice on it, but I figured I wanted to save the sanity of everyone who lived in my house and not practice it anymore because I've already had complaints that sometimes I practice annoying things too long. So, I was sparing people. Anyway, so that's all. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow instead of being dumb and petty. I'm picky. But anyway, bye.